Now, the left-wing blog Media Matters for America is calling on its readers to email ABC, urging the network to postpone the path to 9/11. Joining me now from Washington, the head of Media Matters, David Brock. David, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Tucker.
So a bunch of Clinton people, former Clinton officials, want to censor this project. Why are you helping them?
I don't really think it's about what former Clinton people want or even what we want. I mean, the story's changed today, as you know. I mean, ABC admits that they made stuff up in the production of this movie, that there are composite characters and made-up dialogue. The writer-producer today is quoted as saying that a key scene involving Sandy Berger, the former national security advisor, where he supposedly is declining to give an order to kill Osama bin Laden and slams down a phone. And the writer-producer of the movie says Sandy Berger did not slam down the phone. This is not in the 9/11 Commission report, and accidents occur in making the film. And Tom Kaine, the advisor, the Republican former co-chair of the 9/11 Commission, has said some of the people shown there probably weren't there. So all the people involved in this movie have now said that it's fiction. That's the issue. It is fiction, David. I mean, you've got to be kidding. This is, by definition, partly fictionalized. It's a docudrama. It's not a documentary, and it's not billed as such. This is a broad brush account of what ABC and the producers of this film think happened in the run-up to 9/11. No one is claiming that every part of this actually happened. That's the whole point. I mean, that's news from nowhere, isn't it? It's not. I mean, they do claim that the movie is based on facts in the 9/11 Commission report. So when you go to the 9/11 Commission report and try to check some of the scenes, you find in many cases that the 9/11 Commission report says the opposite.
No, they
of what
actually
this
don't
is
claim that, David. Actually,
and
that's not. Wait, hold on. That's just to correct what you said, because what you said is incorrect. ABC is no longer claiming, if they did, they are not at this point anyway, claiming that it is based on or taken directly from the 9/11 report. They're saying they used the 9/11 report in putting together this docudrama. But the point that they're making, that the Bush administration and the Clinton administration both had a hand in allowing America to be unprepared for 9/11, and that the Clinton administration didn't take terrorism seriously enough and didn't do all it could to apprehend Osama bin Laden, that's beyond dispute. We know that to be true. That's a fact. So the Clinton people are mad about it. They're defensive about it. I get it. But why are you helping them to rewrite history? Why are you being a shill for their interests in this case?
Look, this is, as you say, being billed as a docudrama, but there's no docu to the drama. It's all drama. The Media Matters mission is to fight misinformation in the media, and everything we know about this movie, including the admissions by ABC, by the writer-producer, by Tom Kaine, show that it's a total distortion and totally fictionalized. And I just have to add one thing.
Yes.
You know, there are educational materials being disseminated by ABC and Scholastic to 100,000 teachers across the United States. So even if one was to take your point, okay, the movie's all made up, it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable that educational materials that have false information that say Iraq was integral to 9/11. Now, you know, even President Bush says that's not true.
But actually, the educational materials don't say that. But one point at a time. Now, wait, hold on, slow down. You are, I think, in partisan hitman mode, and that's a shame. I'm serious, because this history is important because it informs how we take on the future. This is a quote from the Washington Post, not from any right-wing cabal. Quote, "The Clinton administration had as many as 4 chances to kill or capture Osama bin Laden between December 1998 and July 1999, just between that period." The Post also goes on to say in 1996, the government of Sudan offered to hand over Osama bin Laden. The Clinton administration gave up on that because, quote, it lacked a case to indict him in U.S. courts. The point is, the Clinton administration did not, in a series of well-documented, beyond dispute instances, do all it could to apprehend or kill Osama bin Laden. We know that as a fact. So, look, I'm sorry you don't like it, but that's just true.
It's not what I like or don't like. What I don't like is a film that, you know, a film can show failures of any administration. That's fine. But don't make up the failures. Don't fictionalize. Stay true to the facts.
But that's the claim that this film makes, that the Clinton administration did not do all it could to apprehend Osama bin Laden.
And
the
they make the
people,
case,
as you know, are very touchy about that because it wounds, it hurts to hear it, but it's true.
They make the case with false depictions. They show Madeleine Albright. They defame Madeleine Albright, saying that she tried to warn Pakistan about U.S. airstrikes. She didn't. The 9/11 Commission said it was the U.S. military that did that. That's defamation.
Okay. It's defamation. That's ridiculous. That's you know what? You're reading off a list of talking points, and again, you're not addressing
I'm not
the
reading.
theme. No, yes, you are. Though you're repeating talking points distilled, come up with, written by people who worked in who have
you don't
invested
know that.
interest.
That's not the case.
I do know that. I've read everything you've been emailing to me and other journalists all day long.
What we've been emailing is our original research, Tucker.
Okay. Well, I think in this case, as
if you don't
many
like
others,
it,
you are acting as a partisan Democratic shill, and it's a shame.
Absolutely.
On behalf of people
if we're going to get into name calling,
I'm not name calling. I just think this history is important, and there are people, John Podesta, Sandy Berger, who were there at the time, who have a vested interest in presenting their side of the case. And I think it's important that our viewers know that this is coming from a specific perspective. It's not just disinterested historian trying to correct the record.
It's coming from the writer-producer of the film who says Sandy Berger never hung up the phone. It's coming from ABC that admits the film is inaccurate, and when CBS found inaccuracies in their Reagan biopic, which was, a docudrama, they pulled the movie.
They pulled the movie because of political pressure from conservatives and former Reagan administration employees who said they didn't want their hero presented in this way. And at that time, liberals had a fit. They said, this is censorship. This is outrageous. No one claimed this was a They're making the same argument that I am making now. And I actually didn't argue with them because I sort of agree. I mean, people have a right to take poetic and artistic license to get a true point across. And in this case, you're acting on the side of people who would censor the truth.
The facts can be wrong if some overall point is true? Is that what you're saying?
That's not at all what I'm saying. I am saying that this docudrama does not purport to be a documentary, A, and B,
educational materials are going out to school children.
Those educational materials. No, but those educational materials, you can't point to one thing that is inaccurate. You can't point to a single thing that is inaccurate in those materials.
Yeah, I gave you one earlier.
Go ahead and point to one.
I gave you one earlier. They said Iraq was an integral country in 9/11, and that's not the case.
Actually, they did not say that. The statement in those materials it said the president responded and the Congress responded to 9/11 by invading Afghanistan and invading Iraq and doing a number of other things.
Was Iraq integral to 9/11?
It said he responded to 9/11 by doing it. The point is, you are twisting, you're spinning this from a certain perspective.
Why do they say that it was thought that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and never come back and say, hey, those weren't found?
Well, actually, weapons of mass destruction were found in Iraq, just not enough to justify a war, in the opinion of many, including me. I mean, I'm not defending the war in Iraq. I'm merely saying that you can't point to those materials and say they're factually wrong. You're just taking the side of people who are mad because their inadequacies are being held up to public view.
We looked at those materials closely, and anybody who wants to can go on our website and see that they are filled with misinformation.
Okay. I think your website is filled with misinformation, and never more so than in this case. I think it's embarrassing what you're doing, and I would be ashamed if I were you, but you're not, and I'm sorry that you're not. David Brock, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Still to come.